But we do have to check out this weekend's forecast. We might see some wet weather roll through tomorrow.
Yeah, some other impacts to keep in mind. Meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees is tracking that all for us. Brittany.
Yeah, so tonight we have the best chance to see a few showers and storms become strong to severe in the mountains, foothills. A little bit more so tomorrow afternoon across the Charlotte metro. But again, still a very, very low risk of overall strong to severe thunderstorms. In fact, we've actually been tracking a storm that is not severe, but has been causing some issues with some heavy rain, some gusty winds in parts of Cleveland County. Now, this is previously in Rutherford County. It did weaken a bit as it moved over the border there, but I know Brad says this all the time, and it's true. I mean, weather doesn't care about borders, right? So as soon as it moved into Cleveland County, technically that special weather statement was canceled, but it was re-upped by the National Weather Service here in Greenville-Spartanburg. So right now, still seeing some heavy rain, some gusty winds, not a ton of lightning here, but this has been consistently producing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds and even some small hail based on the current radar signature. So if you're in this area, make sure you're keeping a close eye on the forecast, staying weather aware. And if you can safely do so, of course, we would always take a picture or video so that we can share your picture or video with the NWS. And of course, just let our viewers know what's happening where you are. Right now, of course, we are tracking the storm at 6:17 currently. Grover, Mid-Pine, we're approaching those areas by 6:30, just between 6:30 and 6:45 for Kings Mountain. Again, all of that conducive on it's staying together, right? It has weakened a bit as it's continued to move eastward, a little bit more stable the further east and southeast it moves, but as of now, still producing heavy rain and gusty winds. Some light rain right now on the eastern side here of Watauga as well as Avery County, mainly south and west there of Blowing Rock area, Banner Elk area. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on that as well. For the rest of the Charlotte metro for the rest of today, 20% chance of rain at a maximum. Again, no chance for severe weather across the Charlotte metro. Tomorrow, we will see storms a little bit earlier than what we had today in the mountains and foothills, and then after 2 o'clock for the Charlotte area. Now, again, I'm not anticipating a lot of severe weather tomorrow, but we know heavy rain, gusty winds are a possibility. We saw that today again in the mountains, foothills, and yesterday. In fact, storms actually yesterday kind of overperformed there. So with tomorrow being a weekend that many of your folks are going to be out and about, of course, NCAA football is back. People will be out and about as well on Sunday. Watching the NFL, we want you to be prepared. So is there any impact tonight? Yes, primarily mountains, foothills. But tomorrow, it's going to be for everybody. And unfortunately, with the storms early in those areas in the mountains, we will watch storms for the App State game at home at Kidd Brewer, as well as kickoff at 7 o'clock for UNC at Charlotte 49ers. So we will be watching these storms closely on WCNC Charlotte. If you're not seeing updates on our TV channel, you know you can always get them on WCNC Plus and our WCNC Charlotte mobile app. I'll be in the studio tomorrow, keeping a close eye. Most NFL, NCAA stadiums, so of course this includes Carolina Sin, American Legion, as well as for the Charlotte FC. Again, even though they're not at home tomorrow, most criteria for any kind of sports is 8 miles to 10 miles away from the stadium. So that's typically the threshold for any thunder and lightning to impact whether or not the game or the match gets paused, canceled, etc. So as of right now, again, something we're certainly watching for tomorrow. Again, even if it's not severe, just based on the fact that there's a lot going on across the Carolinas. Really, really humid. That's definitely adding to the reason why we have storms today and tomorrow. But by this time Sunday, things are looking up. Conditions will be drying out very, very nicely. Quick update on what's happening in the tropics. We are days away from the historic peak of hurricane season. Still a high chance that this investigative area will become our next tropical depression or named storm, but it's got some issues in its way for trying to form. We'll talk more about that on WCNC Plus coming up at 6:30 with myself and Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley from our sister station there in Greensboro, North Carolina. Here's your 7-day forecast again tomorrow. 49ers, App State, Ascent, all at home. There's some action in the afternoon. If you're going to be out and about, there's about a 30 to 50% chance you will be impacted. So make sure you're keeping an eye on the forecast. More clouds, 20% chance of rain Sunday before perfect weather to kick off a new work week.
Brittany, thank you.